I was reading the paper the other day, and I noticed an article written about each one of your priorities for the city over the next 4 years. And a lot of it dealt with downtown revitalization, a lot of it dealt with parks and recreation. There are numerous grant opportunities right now the city of Newcastle can go after to try to further some of your goals. But that due to, I believe, a lack of staffing at the city, you're unable to go after and pursue as aggressively as I think you'd be able to. So first and foremost, I just want to list some of those opportunities. For downtown revitalization, which was a common theme when you look at the different priorities voiced by the members sitting before us here today, you have opportunities to Keystone Communities, which is a program through DCED for facade grants. In other words, if you want to fire up a program for your downtown businesses to go and improve their frontages, which we know actually improves foot traffic, improves commerce, we have the ability to go after that grant. Development funding through that same program through Keystone Communities for large-scale redevelopment or demolition. I know one of the properties that you guys have discussed thoroughly over the course of the last year is the old Lincoln Garfield building. And through programs like this, you might be able to acquire funding to actually go after and offset the costs associated with demolition of that building or of other large buildings that have potential for redevelopment in and around the city. The Appalachian Regional Commission right now has funding available for development of business incubators if you're looking at promoting more entrepreneurial efforts within the city of Newcastle. Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency has a community revitalization fund program for the rehabilitation of buildings, again with the goal of bringing those buildings back to productive use, filling them up with tenants, and otherwise bringing back downtown cores. And on top of that, this is a program that I actually really appreciate, transportation alternatives, where the federal government's actually increased, due to the recent Infrastructure and Jobs Act, the allotment that goes into that program. It's largely for alternative means of transportation, if you couldn't tell by the title. So you're looking at things like bicycle and pedestrian improvements, anywhere you might be looking for. So in other words, we're talking things like safe routes to school. We're talking about things like, if you want to think radical about how to improve the city of Newcastle, a lot of what grant writing is saying, okay, we have this project. What's the state funding right now? Is it an economic development swing? Is it a transportation swing? Is it an environmental swing? And then figuring out how to plug that project into what funding streams are available.